The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
They don't make them like they used to. For decades, that phrase was used as an ironic statement to look at the lack of quality of an object in entertainment. The Joker said it to Batman, just as the old gargoyle was crumbling beneath his feet. And while it's been used everywhere, I think its best application was in Ghostbusters, when Venkman and Ray were talking about the construction of Dana's building.
So what? I guess they just don't make them like they used to, huh? No! Nobody ever made them like this. I mean, the architect was either a certified genius or an authentic wacko.
Whoever built the world we live in today is an authentic wacko. For the most part, it's great that things aren't the way they used to be.
Wow, things aren't so bad. Food's a lot better. We used to boil everything. No polio's good. Internet, so helpful.
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The internet has changed our way of life. Some would argue it's for the worse. I'd argue that on a lot of fronts. People are shittier, they're dumber, even though they think they're a lot smarter. Movies look better, but lack substance. Politics still suck no matter what era. One thing they definitely don't make like they used to are kids' shows. Everyone likes to think they grew up in the golden era of kid entertainment. Everyone likes to think that their childhood was the best. It's an interesting time to have never grown up. 2 generations have finally reached the disposable income bracket. For the last 20 years, companies have been milking every 80s property they can. Transformers was a staple of the box office. G.I. Joe was a franchise. Thundercats got a remake. He-Man's getting a remake, and 80stees.com has single-handedly kept 80s nostalgia alive and helped push for the non-stop 1980s merchandising. Now it's time to do that again, but for 90s kids. Companies are milking 80s and 90s nostalgia concurrently. It's good business. Sell to everybody. I love being sold better Power Rangers toys, a new Michael Keaton Batman figure, a definitive Inspector Gadget. If the quality is there and it gets it right, I'm buying. But what I'm not buying is this modern bullshit called Nickelodeon. Before we jump into today's video, let me get this out of the way.
All right. Oh, it's laughing now! Shut up!
Yeah, I know what's up. My Nickelodeon years are well behind me, but all those shows still hold a special place in my heart. I got a free subscription to Paramount Plus because companies like to give out free trials, like AOL give out discs. I'd like to say there's less waste these days, but just because garbage isn't clogging up landfills doesn't mean it's not equally toxic. I often find myself asking the question, is entertainment worse across the board, or is it just me? I'm always met with the entertainment is worse, and today I have proof that it ain't just me. I was just asked what I thought about the Nickelodeon ratings crash on a live stream. It was news to me, so let's take a look. Nickelodeon ratings crash amid LGBTQ push. There's growing evidence that Nickelodeon's hard push to promote the LGBTQ agenda to children is having a negative impact on the network's ratings. In the last 2 weeks, both Nickelodeon and its preschool targeted network, Nick Jr., have released videos championing trans, queer, and pansexual inclusion. One video that sparked mass outrage depicted a cartoon version of drag queen Nina West singing about various LGBTQIA topics, loving each other so proudly on Blue's Clues and You, a show for 2 to 5-year-olds. That same video showed a female transgender beaver who appeared to have post-operative surgical scars on its chest. In a separate live-action video Nickelodeon posted on YouTube last week, West explains the meaning behind the various LGBTQ pride flags throughout the song. These latest videos come after the network began overtly celebrating Pride Month several years ago and implied in 2020 that its most popular character, SpongeBob SquarePants, is gay. The company also recently announced its reboot of Rugrats, a popular series that originally ran through the 1990s to 2004, will feature a single lesbian mom. Natalie Morales, the actress who plays the character, commented, "I think it's just so great because examples of living your life happy and healthy out as a queer person is just a beacon for young queer people who may not have examples of that." Well, Betty DeVille in the original Rugrats wasn't gay. She was just, I don't know, kind of tough and wore sweat clothes, but she was married to Howard. No matter what you think, you just can't forget about that part, or can you? But it appears many parents don't think it's so great. Pirates and Princesses, a popular entertainment site specializing in Disney-related news, reported Nickelodeon's YouTube videos were downvoted to such a degree that they have now hidden the ratio. The site also says the network has seen a major decline in viewership since it began overtly pushing LGBTQ agendas to its young viewers. This is particularly bad news for parent company Viacom-CBS, which has been attempting to bulk up its streaming service. There are signs that Viacom has not learned any lessons and is retrofitting old shows with the same principles that have resulted in Nickelodeon's huge loss in ratings. Even with a show about infants, much of the headlines have been about a retconned, now lesbian character. Whatever your thoughts about the issue, it's hard to see how a children's show about infants is best served in advertising when the news is all about sexuality. This is particularly bad news for parent company Viacom-CBS, which has been attempting to bulk up its streaming service Paramount Plus by adding several hundreds of hours of Nickelodeon programming to the platform's library. So far, the negative reaction from consumers doesn't seem to be deterring the network. In response to Wes posting a video of the Pride song, Nickelodeon's official account tweeted, "It gets better every time we watch it," alongside the happy face and heart emojis. So clearly the people running the Twitter are correct here. Oh wait, why are the ratings dropping then? There's a disconnect between the network and the audience. A big one. But everyone wants to act like Nickelodeon is not only right, but not doing enough. It's sort of messed up that to be a good person, you have to be constantly virtue signaling. If you don't know what virtue signaling is, it's the action or practice of publicly expressing opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. That's what this is. Nickelodeon is virtue signaling hard for June, but why? It's Nickelodeon. This is a kids' channel. Why are young kids being introduced to this by them of all places? Because it's trendy and cool? Yeah, that's the answer, but it doesn't make anything less wrong. What is actually wrong here? Well, let's talk about that. It's not wrong showing kids gay people. They exist in the real world, and it's good to teach kids that early on. That's how you avoid homophobia. That's the point of all this, right? To show gay people are just like everyone else? There's no corporate agenda here, is there? No financial benefit from all of it? There shouldn't be. Shouldn't we be teaching kids how to be good people for free? Shouldn't that be a part of morality? Hell, fuck morality. It should be a part of basic human decency. To be a good person. Nickelodeon is trying to pass off this mature, sexualized version of Pride off onto kids, and that's the problem. In the article, we learned the demographic for the offending show is ages 2 to 5. At that time in my life, I was focused on toy trains and Power Rangers. It's a bit weird to be trying to teach kids this stuff at an early age. Professionals suggest having these talks around ages 10 to 13. Also, they suggest parents teach their children, not television. You don't have to shield kids from the real world, just present it well. Look at Arthur. His teacher was gay, and there was an episode that featured his wedding. Seeing two dudes get married isn't a big deal in 2021, and it wasn't that big of a deal in Arthur. Nickelodeon is sort of playing into the old gay stereotypes of only showing the extremes. It reads like a bunch of kids regurgitating what they learned in college from some unqualified idiot they call a teacher. There's no subtlety, no nuance, just crap that sets a cause back. Back in the day, when people were obsessed with the genitals and sex lives of fictional characters, we laughed them off and went back to work. Now, somehow, these people got power, and that's why we have stuff like this on Nickelodeon. Superheroes with menstruation powers, and the Powerpuff Girls hooking up on screen. The world is a broken place. So I want to know what you guys think about all of this. It's weird that you want to put it on Nickelodeon. It's not weird that it exists. There's no problem with any of these things. My issue comes from showing it to kids, ages 2 to 5. Nick Jr., come on. Remember when Nick Jr. was face? It was just a blue or purple or red face. It changed every episode, and he talked and he taught you shit, and that was about it. I guess not having cartoon versions of real people talking about real world issues, makes it a problem. Let's take it back for just a quick second. Nick News with Linda Ellerby. That is how I learned about a lot of shit in the real world. And Nick News was kind of fucking boring and I barely watched it, but it was a nice attempt at giving kids real world issues in a comfortable setting. I think Bill Clinton even popped up on an episode. So Nickelodeon has definitely dipped its foot into current day topics, but they used to do it so well. So just for the hell of it, I decided to look up Nick News with Linda Ellerby. And if you don't know, it was an American educational television news magazine program aimed at children and teenagers. It was produced and aired on Nickelodeon from 1992 to 2015, as well as on Nickelodeon's sister network, Noggin, from 1999 to 2002. Nick News took the form of a highly rated and recognized news program for children and teenagers alike, discussing important social issues, political and economic issues in a format intended for both children and adults. With 178 episodes from 1992 to 2015, it currently holds the record for the longest-running Nickelodeon series. The show is known for allowing normal teenagers to speak their own personal opinions on a number of past and current worldwide issues and topics, including such events as Black History Month. So it's not uncommon, it's not crazy, it's not controversial for Nickelodeon to get itself involved in something, but it's about how you package it. Today, we don't have any subtlety, any tact, any class. It's just let's throw shit out there, and if people don't like it, they're bigots. But remember, at the end of the day, the people upset are people with children, and you don't get to tell other people how to raise their kids. Good or bad, whatever. But Nickelodeon has kind of always been a place for everybody, and I understand why this kind of content might not fly with other people, especially when their kids are involved. So folks, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit thumbs up and comment. We have it on good authority that both help. I know it's been a minute since we've been making content, but I'd let you know I've just been super busy with getting stuff ready for the comic, the move, had some real life stuff, and I don't like taking time off, so it kind of sucks. But we haven't missed a single episode of the show, any of the High Council, and now we're back making videos. So be on the lookout. I will be back here this week with more content. So from all of us here on the channel, thank you for watching. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.